Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gloria, and today I wanted to share with you guys how I've been cutting my own hair for 3 years. Yes, I have been cutting my own hair actually for 3 years, way before the pandemic happened. Honestly, what led me to cutting my own hair was pretty much the fact that my whole life, not once have I gone to a hairdresser and came out feeling happy and satisfied with my hair. No offense if you're a hairdresser. I know there's really good hairdressers out there, but I pretty much got tired of trying. Every single time I got a haircut, I was extremely unsatisfied. Not only did I not feel happy, I pretty much always cried because it was everything I didn't want. But yeah, I don't have any training in hair cutting. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally I do what I like, and I've kind of practiced and messed it up in my own way and found out what works for me. I do also want to mention this is my natural hair. It's really frizzy. I literally just washed it about an hour ago. This is kind of what it looks like if it's just air dried. I am Middle Eastern, so I do have thicker hair, more of it, but it's quite frizzy and hard to deal with. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. I'm not a professional, so if you do choose to follow this tutorial, this may or may not work for you. It just depends on your hair type, and you know, this just might not turn out exactly the same if you do go ahead and try it on your own hair. Do it at your own risk. Don't come at me. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to cut the dead ends off. I think that I'm going to cut about 4-ish centimeters maybe. And then I'm going to add a few shorter layers on top, blend the hair together, and then I'm going to show you guys how I like to cut my curtain bangs and do a little bit of face framing. So without further ado, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to section my hair into 2 different sections, like so. I've lost my hair clip, so I'm just using a little scrunchie. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my hair right in the middle at the back and just bring them both sections forward. So my hair is still a little bit damp, but I like to actually start off with the hair quite wet. My hair has kind of dried up while I've been speaking to you guys. So I'm just going in, by the way, with just water, just kind of wetting my hair. By the way, I did put a little bit of my hair oil, the Kerastase hair oil I always use, in my hair already, just so it's easier to brush through. It doesn't get tangled. And I'm just brushing my hair with my wet brush. And then I'm actually going to take this section, get it out of the way. So I hope you guys can see. I'm looking this way. My mirror is here right in front of me, and I've got another mirror there just to kind of understand what I'm doing. So the first thing I like to do is just decide on the length that I want to go for. So right now my hair is actually belly button length. This is my belly button here, and my hair is almost at my belly button. So that's definitely a little too long for me. So this first section of hair I would say is equal to where my eyebrows start. I like to keep this section with no layers and all at the same length. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to cut it into a length that I like. I think I'm going to go for about 5 or 6 centimeters of a cut. This is generally shorter than I usually would cut the lengths of my hair, that I haven't done this for a while. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut about this much first. So what I'm going to first do is I take my scissors. These are actually proper hair cutting scissors. And I'm going to just do a blunt cut straight through the hair. And if you're doing this yourself for the first time, pick a length that's not too short. So I'm just doing a normal blunt cut through the hair. It's easier for you, you could start in different sections and then go up from there. Like that. So that kind of looks funny right now, but we're going to work on it. So what I like to then do is grab sections of the hair just to make sure that it's the same length. Again, grab the hair, and then what I'm going to do is again grab my scissors and make sure it's straight. I also do want to add that because my hair is extremely wavy and kind of frizzy, minor mistakes don't actually show up. But if you have straight hair or you regularly wear your hair straight, even tiny mistakes can show up quite a bit. So Just be careful. Now what I like to do is I like to take sections of hair. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go point cut into the hair, because right now the hair is super straight, and that I just personally don't like that look on its own. It can look good depending on the hairstyle you're going for, but I just basically go right into the hair. I would say for about 1.5 to 2 centimeters, and just point cut into the hair. This kind of gives it more of a feathered effect. And then I like to usually go about 3 different sections. I'm going to grab another section like this, brush through, and then point cut into the hair. Just literally, I vertically take hair off. Brush through, point cut into the hair. I don't like to do this too much because, again, I'm not trying to make it look extremely uneven, but I just want it to look like a little bit more feathered and less straight, if that makes sense. After 5 hours of spraying my hair with water, I got my hair fully wet again. And now what I like to do is, again, brush out the hair, make sure that everything is looking good. So I find that this way that I cut my hair actually gives a U shape at the back, which I personally really like. I need to cut a little bit more. Anytime I cut a blunt end, I will go in and point cut into the hair as well. That's one side done. Brush the hair again. So what I like to now do is I grab the section from the part that I already cut my hair, and I'm going to grab a section from the uncut hair and bring them together and cut them at equal lengths. This just kind of gives a marker on the side that is not cut yet. Like that. So now that I have my little marker, I'm going to take small sections of hair and make everything the same length as the marker. Grab the last section. Again, we're going to do that thing where we're point cutting the hair, just to kind of feather that out. So what I'm now just doing is checking to make sure that the hair is fully even. I think the right section needs to be point cut a little bit more. Ta-da! And that's the first section done. I do not like to layer this section. I do not take weight off of this section. This is it. This is all that I do for this first section. I might go in at the end and blend the hair, but that'll be it. I have now opened the top section of my hair fully, and as you can see, they are quite uneven lengths. The top section still has parts that are quite long. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of just make it equal at the very bottom. And I did actually have to wet my hair again quite a bit. It's just dried up. Still quite different lengths. Again, check for evenness of the hair. So now everything, the top section that I had and the bottom section are both even. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to perfect my middle part. Bring the hair forward, and then now I'm going to work on the top section. So the top section is quite a weird one for me because this is where I don't follow any rules, and I'm probably really wrong, but that's okay. I like to grab sections of hair starting right here, kind of thin sections like this, and I will start cutting them at an angle. Brush it straight up. We'll grab the hair in like vertical little sections, and I will pull it as hard as I can away from my hair at an angle, bring it down, and give it an angled cut. And I kind of decide where I want my shortest layer to be, like that. So it's at an angle. This is the top. Again, grabbed it straight, brought it down. Now I'm gonna cut at an angle. Only point cut into the hair because I do not want these lengths to be perfectly straight. Like that. So what you end up getting is the top layer is shorter, longer, longer, and all the way to the bottom. And I will show you guys how I blend the layers into the rest of the hair in a second as well. Grab a section again beside the section I just cut. Same thing. Brush upwards and cut into it at an angle. I don't like to layer the entire top section. The way I like my layers is I like them to actually be quite uneven and random, because that I find works a lot better with curly hair than having an entire like section that is layered. So now if you see, the shortest section of hair is quite a bit shorter than the longer section. Although I did cut at an angle, it kind of does angle into the hair, but I want a little bit more angle than that. So what I'm gonna do is I kind of brush the hair a little bit to the side where the shortest cut is, and I actually blend it into the section just below the shortest cut hair. And that kind of helps just blend it seamlessly into the hair. And then I like to sometimes just go a little bit at the deeper angle and just kind of thin out the section that blends the two together. As you can see, this is not the proper way one cuts hair, but we go with that. Now we have the short sections leading into the long sections. And then what I like to do, this part is extremely improper way to cut hair, but I like to take everything that is in the top section, and then I just go randomly and kind of thin out those sections, because the goal is we don't want those sections to be super heavy. We want them to flow really well. So I like to thin them out just a little bit so that they're a little less heavy. So next, what I like to do is I like to make the front kind of have an angle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna brush out the section that's very front of the hair. Just kind of grab this entire section, and then I will brush it out. I've grabbed the hair at an angle, and then I'm just gonna cut right into the hair slowly. Kind of creates that angled effect in the very front. Now that I have the shortest layers cut on this side, and I already cut this side, compare the short layers. Make sure that they are the same length. See, this section could use a little bit more blending. Again, make sure everything is blending into each other. Then what I like to do is I will grab the shortest section of hair that I have and a section underneath it, like so. Brush out the hair vertically. What you want is basically an angle to be formed this way. So what I like to do is pull the hair forward. What I basically need is the shortest section to flow right into the longest section. So how I do that is I go until the shortest section is kind of free into the hair, and then I will start cutting at an angle. This is like very, very minimal cuts. Literally I cut this much out, and this just kind of helps blend the shortest layer of hair into the longest. Check to make sure after that both sides, the shortest layers, are even. Grab all the hair that is right in front of my ear, and I will pull those hairs forward like so. And at an angle, I am going to cut the hair from, I would say, quite a bit actually shorter than the very long layers, all the way to the bottom. I think if I just show you, it makes more sense. You cannot see because my hair is that frizzy, but I already did this side, so I'm just going to compare. And this side's a bit shorter, so we're going to cut a little bit more. Now the bangs. The good old curtain bangs. So now I'm going to cut curtain bangs, which is the hardest part, so I'm going to try to explain it before I do it because I need to focus. So I like to grab a triangular section. This will usually be the curtain bangs I already had. I just kind of grab those, and you can see I formed like a triangular section. Kind of repeat this process on the other side. Grab a triangular section, like that. Wet the hair a little bit, kind of make it a little bit easier. What I do is grab a section. I usually like to start off with my left section. So what I will do is grab the left section of hair, brush it all the way to the opposite side, and then I will grab the hair tightly between my fingers at an angle, bring it to the side that it's gonna go. And I will make sure I will adjust and double check as many times as I can to make sure that the length of hair is what I want it to be. I do this so many times before I actually cut the hair to make sure that I like it. So I'm going to cut still quite a bit longer than what I actually want it to be because I'm going to pretty much do this multiple times. And then I'm going to point cut into the hair, never straight. Let's do this. It's still quite a bit longer than what I actually want it to be, so I'm going to repeat the process. Ta-da! I will style it and you guys will see how it looks once it's styled, but that's kind of the gist of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little marker that I have from the other side, right here, and I'm going to grab a section of hair from the opposite side, the one closest to it, and I will cut them equal. Grab the new section of hair, brush the opposite direction, and then cut my hair at an angle again. Point cut into the hair, extremely important. That is the curtain bangs done. They kind of look really funny right now, but I will style them and you will see how it looks. These are the curtain bangs, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the section that's just below them, and I'm going to just blend it right into it. which means basically just cutting at an angle where the hair is. That completes the haircut. I'm gonna run quickly and style my hair and show you guys what it looks at the end. So this is the finished result. I lost all the lights, so I had to turn on my filming lights, but I basically styled the hair the exact same way that I showed you guys in my Dyson Airwrap tutorial. I used my Dyson Airwrap to create these loose bouncy waves. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the description box below and put it somewhere in the cards for you guys, for you to take a look if you're interested to know how I style my hair like this. I pretty much styled my hair exactly the same way as I showed you guys in that tutorial, but just kind of brushed it through so that you can see the layers a little bit better. But yeah, this is basically what the curls look like. You can see there is not too many layers. They're just kind of really blended in. It's just kind of like more like shorter random layers, really feathered into the hair, and the hair is obviously significantly shorter. But yeah, I find that this kind of haircut just suits me the most. And when it comes to the curtain bangs, you can see they're just kind of flowing to the side, just like the way they're supposed to. So yeah, basically the layers are really light, they're really feathered into the hair, they're quite blended, and the bottom layer is quite heavy. The very first layer, it's pretty heavy, it's got a lot of hair, and that's just personally how I like to wear my hair. I like it big, wavy, bouncy, voluminous. But yeah, it feels really nice. I haven't cut my hair in a while, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Is it even a tutorial? I don't know. It's more like how I cut my hair. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of found it useful. If not, hopefully it just kind of entertained you. I'm probably gonna go edit this and be like, what? But I hope it still made some sense, and yeah. And if you'd like to see more hair tutorials from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!